Hello my people, it's Shadrach Lead as usual in another very good video. I'm here to give you another very nice content. You know, I always come up with good contents, and if you're a new subscriber, you're welcome to this family. And if you're just coming, if this is your first video to watch and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, because I always have nice content. Any type of content you might expect that is educative and also entertaining, I always have it. Don't expect something that is weird. No, I don't post weird things. I'm always on point. I post educative content. So I stay in China, and I would like to talk about some of the don'ts in China, or the things that you can't do once you're a foreigner in China. So many people have been asking me what are the things that you can't do when you come in China, and what are the things that you can do in China. But today I would like to talk about the things that you can't do once you come to China, because there are lots of things that if you try them, you will end up in trouble. So first of all, I came up with some. I will just talk about 5 points. I won't talk about much, but I'll just tell you about the 5 things that I know that once you try them here, you will be in trouble, like serious trouble. So I'll start with fighting. I'll start with the issue of fighting. If you're a foreigner here and you fight, it's a big deal. If you fight, just know, if you involve in the fighting, either you're in the club or you're fighting with Chinese people or a fellow foreigner, you will end up in trouble. You will either go to jail, or you might be deported if you're not careful. Most especially if you had other cases before, you will be deported without without anything to explain. Either you go to jail or you will be deported. Those are 2 things. And you might also pay a lot of fine, maybe like 10,000 and above, depending on your case or depending on where you are, because not every place can charge the same amount. But not only to foreigners, but also the Chinese people here, once they fight, it's a big deal. Like, it's not allowed to fight. It doesn't mean that people don't fight. People fight. But once the police is involved, it will be a big deal. A very big deal. So if you're a foreigner, I advise you to keep safe and keep your surrounding safe. Make sure you don't fight. Make sure if people start fighting, you leave that place immediately. And also, I would talk about the drugs. Not just one drug, but drugs in general. Here, once you take drugs, dude, you will be in trouble. Like, I would not say that people don't take drugs. Some do, but I've never seen anyone taking drugs. But it doesn't mean that people don't take drugs. They do. But this country, it's very strict about drugs. Very strict, not just to foreigners, but also to the Chinese people. They are very strict about drugs. Once you're caught with drugs and you're a foreigner, automatically your visa will be cancelled, and automatically you'll be in jail. And from jail, you might be deported immediately. Like, they don't play with drugs. So please, consider not taking drugs. If you've been taking drugs, I advise you to stop it before coming to China. Or I advise you not to think about it once you come to China, because it's a very serious deal that can make you being in prison. So as a foreigner, I advise you not to try it, And also, apart from just that, even the Chinese people, like, once you're found with drugs, it's also a big deal. But for them, I don't know what kind of punishments they give them apart from going to jail. That's the only thing I know, and maybe paying some fine. But apart from that, I don't know what else. But of course, it's not something that you can joke with. I remember in 2018, I had just reached here, and there is someone who was from Shanghai. That person came. She was actually a girl. She was a lady. She was a young lady, like maybe 25 or even below 25. So that young lady came from Shanghai, and she had some drugs. So she came to my city. My city is called Haikou, Hainan province. So she came to this province with drugs, and she was in the hotel. Then the police found her there and they took her. By that time, we had just come here, so we never got to know much information about it. But I know it was a very big deal. And also I remember there are some few African students that were caught dealing with drugs, like they are selling drugs in another city, not here in Haiku. And still those two were imprisoned, and one managed to escape. Yeah, one managed to escape. He went back home immediately once he came to know that people, like some people told him that the police is looking for him, and he got the chance to leave the country. But it's a big deal. I know it's a big deal. So please, if you're coming to China and you take drugs, consider not to do so, because it will be a big deal once you come to China, So consider that. That's one of the don'ts in China. Drugs, it's a big deal. But apart from drugs, you can enjoy your life as much as you want. No problem. And also, apart from drugs, I also came up with a point of working visa. You working without a visa. Yes, some students work without visa. It's normal like anywhere. Some students, or even other people, not only students, but even other people, yes. Sometimes maybe your visa is expired. Oh, maybe you don't have a working visa and you're a student, but you happen to get a job. Oh, it's a big deal here, most especially in some provinces. It's serious. If you're found in cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and so many other big cities, if you're found working without a visa, a working visa, it will be a very serious problem to you. So if you're coming to China and you want to work, if you're a student, it might be difficult for you to get a job without a working visa. And likely you might have a job, but if you're found with the police without a visa, it will be a big deal. Not only to the police, but also some of the bosses, they don't want to pay once they know that you don't have a working visa. They might give you a job, you work. At the end of the day, when you go to ask them about your money, some of them might refuse to pay you because they know you have no visa and you can't report them anywhere. So it's a big deal too. So when you're coming to China, I would say getting a working visa, it's something that is hard. It's not simple. It's hard to get a working visa. But still, it's possible. It's doable. Once you're done with academics, or once you come and you have some businesses to do, or you work with Chinese people, yes, you can get a Chinese working visa. There are some agents that help to find the Chinese visa, and there are also some companies that you can apply to, and you get a Chinese working visa. So mostly the jobs, people have been asking me, like, what are the kind of the jobs usual students do in China? I would say most of the students here, they can teach English. It's one of the most paying job to the foreigners. Like once you're a teacher, trust me, you will make a lot of money. You can be paid a lot of money. But it doesn't mean that in every city or every school will pay you the same amount. But usually it depends. Mostly you might get a good place and they give you a lot of money, or you might find a place and they give you little money according to how the school is developed, But if you're teaching international schools, automatically you'll be paid some good money. And the school might help you also to find the working visa once you have your degrees and you're qualified to teach. And also about that, some people also ask me about the jobs apart from teaching. Yes, you can do the modeling, you can be a DJ, you can work in the company depending on which kind of qualifications they need or they require you. And you can also make your own company here. You can create your own company and start working, exporting and importing and so many other things, It's also possible. Then also on the same point, I came up with a point of politics. In China, politics is a big deal. I would tell you, I would be very honest with you, because China has peace. I would not lie to you. Yes, it's a very peaceful country. You can do each and everything that you want to do. You can enjoy a lot of stuff as much as you want. But still, the Chinese people here don't want to talk about politics. I also don't know why. I don't want to lie to you that I know why people don't like talking about politics. But as much as I know, people here don't like talking about politics. Most especially if you're talking about Chinese politics. You might end up in trouble. You might end up in trouble because they don't talk about it. I also don't know why. You know, in some countries like US and other countries, you can freely talk about anything, but here you have to be careful what you say. Trust me, I'm repeating this. You must be very careful about whatever thing you bring out of your mouth talking about politics. It's a big deal here. It's a very peaceful country. I'm saying it again. It's a very peaceful country. You can do anything you want. You can enjoy as much as you want. But please avoid talking about politics with Chinese people or anyone else. And also, overstaying. It's another point. You know, some people come to China. Maybe you came with a visiting visa. Usually the visiting visa is 3 months. So once the 3 months are done, some of the people decide to overstay. But trust me, once you overstay and the police happen to get you, you'll be in trouble, like serious trouble, because the visa here is something that can take you to prison. You can either go to prison, or you can be charged a lot of money and be deported after. But if you come to China, please, and if you're having if you have a visiting visa, it's fine. Spend your 3 months, but consider also looking for a working visa, or extend your visa before it's expired so that you don't end up in trouble. You know, because once you're found with the police, it might be very hard for you, most especially if you don't speak Chinese. It's another case, because here most of the people, I would say 90% or 80%, they don't use English. 80% of the population here don't use English, or even above that. Yeah, because it's so rare to find people who speak good English. So if you're coming here and you can't speak Chinese, also remember to come with your translator in the phone. Download your translator so that whenever you go, you can use your translator to communicate with the people here. And also it will help you once you end up in trouble. Maybe you meet some police and you don't even know how to explain, because you might meet the policemen who don't speak English. So please remember that. Download the translator as you're coming to China, and make sure you're safe. Yep. So let me show you around. I'm just here. I want to show you around. Those were the main points for this video. The don'ts, the 5 don'ts of China. And please remember them. Consider them before you end up in trouble. Yes, so let me just try to move around and show you how the place looks. Actually, it looks fresh today. The weather is super good. It's been sunny since morning. But yeah, the weather now is real fine. Even though it's still sunny, it's too hot. So those buildings you see there, those are buildings for the bank. And I'm in this place. It's called the Movo Square. Yeah, so let's go and see around. Let's go and have fun after watching the main reasons of this video. Yeah, we can go and see how this place looks like. Yeah, so this is the Movo Square, and I'm just here at the Movo Square, and the 4 blocks you see here, they're not just 4, actually they are 8. They are 7 blocks, not 8. These 7 blocks you're seeing here, this is just one bank. It's called Construction Bank. Yep, it's really nice bank with nice buildings. I really love this place. I love this bank. It has 7 blocks, not 8. I don't know why I keep saying 8, but there are 7 blocks, and it's really nice. Yeah. So, and this is the Movo Square. It's one of the biggest malls we have in my city here. It has 16 blocks or 16 buildings. Each block, there are 2 blocks actually, but each block has 8 buildings. So this is how it looks. Let's go and move around.